would you mind introducing yourself for the audience, please?
Absolutely. Hello. My name is Georgia Watson. I am a student at Bangor University studying marine biology and zoology, and I do art on the side. I do a lot of embroidery and a lot of kind of mixed media stuff. I'm very inspired, like journaling and stuff. We'll probably get into that.
Yeah. Well, is all of your art, is it inspired by marine biology? Is that what you do?
Not all inspired by marine biology, but certainly very inspired by nature in general. Most of the organisms I've embroidered are marine organisms, but I do have elephants and butterflies and birds on that I've done as well.
Oh, wow.
I do have a flash drive to give you that's got
Oh,
all
fantastic.
that on that. Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
So really? So, I mean, is there any, let me think, it's all animal based? Really?
Most of it is. There's a couple pieces that aren't. One of them is algae, which is not technically an animal, so it's just a, gosh. Algae is...
Does it come under flora?
It doesn't come under flora, it comes under protists. So it's not an animal, it's not a plant, but it shares aspects of both. So it can photosynthesize just like a plant can, but it's got more, I think at the cellular level, it's more closely related to, more in kind of structure to animals, which is interesting.
That is, yeah.
And another one was I embroidered a crest for my friend who goes to Cambridge University. I embroidered his college's crest, but I changed it slightly to include his one of his favorite Pokemon in it, because it's a deer.
Yeah.
And the crest has a deer in it, so I did that, and yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, he loved it. Just got it for his birthday the other day, so.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Well, for anyone who's not aware, I met Georgia when you were one of the students who were assisting in the laboratory for the artists who were viewing plankton in order to produce artwork for this collaborative project.
Yes.
Kind of headed by Peter Williams. And you stood out because on your lab coat you had embroidered pieces all over.
Yes, that's what I do in my free time. I embroider my lab coats because the university has allowed us to customise it however we want. And I've always been fascinated by embroidery. I've always wanted to give it a try. And so I decided, what a better place to do it on this lab coat that I'm going to be taking into labs with me, that shows my passion for my subject.
Yeah.
And it's just something I can do in the evenings to relax and wind down. And I love it. It's so cool. There's so many more designs on it than what you saw previously, and I forgot to bring it.
Oh, well, that's something that you'll have to send to me or something online, because I have footage when I met you.
Yes.
Where I covered certain things, but it'd be nice to see the updates.
Yes, definitely. I'll get a video to you or something.
Yeah. So is there something where during the day you'll say, that's caught my eye, and then in the evening you'll do it, or will you just decide in the moment?
It's the process for deciding what goes on my lab coat is very, I don't know, it's very sporadic and in the moment, but it takes quite a while, because my mum will draw all of the animals that I then embroider onto my lab coat, so I'll have to send her an image and be like, hey, please could you draw this? It's very collaborative in that way.
Yeah.
And so she will draw them on paper, I will transfer those images onto my lab coat and embroider them. But I will find animals that I love or that are really cool or interesting, and I will think, okay, where's a good place to put that animal on the lab coat in terms of positioning and everything, because I don't want to have one side completely covered and the other side empty. I want to keep it pretty even. And then eventually it'll get transferred. So I've done things like the vampire squid, deep sea animal. I'm very big into the deep sea, so a lot of the things I've done on there are deep sea creatures. I've done a tripod fish as well. Recently I did a peacock grouper, which is just a beautiful, beautiful fish. It's got these beautiful blue spots covering its body. I didn't do all of them because it took forever. French knots. French knots do take a while. But yeah, just I will find an animal that I love. I'll be inspired to see how it's going to look in an embroidered sense, and I will do my best to recreate it. Yeah. It's
funny because it almost, I don't know, it almost feels to me like when people get tattoos and they kind of want, that kind of cover.
Too afraid to get a tattoo. I have wanted one for a while, but I thought this is my next best bet. If I'm not fully ready to commit to ink on my skin, I'll just do patches of animals that I love all over my lab coat instead, and that's it's worked out really well.
It feels like a nice thing which someone could do as well. If like you, they're
absolutely.
a bit nervous to say, will you do a full sleeve for me?
Yeah.
I commission you to do a full sleeve of a coat or a shirt or something. It would be funny. Yeah, so I mean, is there kind of a consideration of what colour you're going to use as well?
Absolutely. I try to colour match as best as possible to the organisms I'm working with. Other than the butterfly, which I did is just random colours, everything else has a basis in the nature of what it looks like. So my elephant is grey. I've got birds that colours correspond to what kind of birds there are. So I've got a blue tit, a bullfinch, a woodpecker, and a great finch, I think. Can't remember quite. And then this is where it gets a bit kind of weird and personal.
Yeah,
so
go for it.
my parents kept a box of embroidery threads from the 1940s, I think it was, that was present in my granddad's shop in Derbyshire. They kept it for years not knowing what to do with it. Do we get rid of it? Do we not? My mum is very artistic, so she thought maybe she'd pick it up again one day, embroidery. But she never did, so it was just sitting in the attic. And then I started doing embroidery, and I started doing it regularly and getting really into it. And then they realised why they'd kept that box all those years. So I'm so lucky that I haven't had to buy most of the colours I own. I've been gifted them through that generational line of weird coincidence, which has been really nice. And my grandma on my mum's side bought a book, of 100 embroidery stitches, and she signed it for my mum, with much love, hoping this will keep up with your embroidery, Mum, and that's signed 1999.
Do you mind showing the count? That's
Absolutely.
So beautiful. I love that.
So it's got
lovely.
it's a book that shows you how to do the various stitches.
Oh, excellent, look at that.
And it's got cross stitch as well as embroidery, how to do them, techniques, tips and tricks, and it's a weird familial generational thing, which is really cool.
So you said your grandmother gifted that to your mum,
Yes, well, my nana. She gifted it to mum, and then eventually it was passed down to me. Yeah.
So was it both your granddad and your nana who?
So my granddad, he was on my dad's side, owned the shop, and it was a general store. And that's where he got that big. It was all anchor threads, so all really high quality thread. It's a huge box, 2 tiers, just full of every single color imaginable. It's gorgeous. And so my parents kept it from my granddad on my dad's side, and then Nana on my mum's side gifted my mum that embroidery book, as well as a few other things. So my Nana taught my mum how to sew, and she's teaching me how to sew. My mum is very artistic, and she's definitely where I get that streak from.
Amazing.
My dad is a lot more scientific, and he is definitely where I get that from.
Well, a lovely combination as well.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I love that. That's brilliant. So with your mum being someone who draws, does she draw anyway? She draw quite
Yes, she does art all the time, mostly things like watercolour. She's done graphic design. At the moment she's dipping her toes into mixed media as well. So she's done a lot of sticker making, and she does everything, and her art is absolutely gorgeous.
You may have to provide some images of that for me as well.
I will. There's a big piece that I saw that's kind of like a mandala, I don't know how to pronounce it, that she did of a beautiful ocean scene. That is definitely on the pen drive.
Oh, amazing.
And I have transferred it to some hoops, and I will be doing 2 versions of it to keep me over the summer holidays, to keep me busy. It is gorgeous. It is such a beautiful scene, and it's so lively and full of colour, and I can't wait to embroider it.
If you forgive me, I may pronounce it mandala, but I don't know if that's correct.
Mandala,
I have no idea, but I've only seen them in a kind of beautiful kind of, Indian decorative. So seeing it being an ocean scene, Sounds fascinating.
It is so gorgeous. She's done things of a lot of floral, a lot of flowers. Again, my mum is very inspired by nature.
Yeah.
We both are, because it's just so beautiful, and I think it's the best source of inspiration for things. So she's done one that's just sunflowers all in a massive ring. She's done leaves that are going around. And that underwater scene, she's done a couple of them, and I really, really love them. They are gorgeous. They are inspired by some other artists, but they are just stunning.
Oh, brilliant. So, was there a moment when you were in school, good at art, interested in science, and making the decision of...
I was not. Science has always been what I wanted to go into.
Really?
I very much consider myself a scientist over an artist.
Yeah.
And which is really weird doing an art podcast. It feels weird, but so in school I was never very good at art. I was never, although there were certainly a lot of people who were significantly better than me at it, and they obviously had the passion and would continue to do it. I was very much more focused on science and the career I wanted to go into, marine biology. I've been wanting to do this since I was like 9, which is crazy that I finally made it here. I never had the option of, do I choose art? Do I choose science? For me, it was always science. And I only really started doing embroidery or art seriously or more frequently from, I think, my second year of uni, because that's when I got my first embroidery hoop and thought, okay, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to finally put some animals on my coat. It's never been a choice for me to do art over science. It's always been marine biology, always been science.
Yeah. Well, I think it'd be harder to be a marine biologist as a hobby, surely, than making art as a hobby.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
So that's a wise choice, as far as you obviously excel at what you do.
Thank you.
And the passion is kind of obvious when you're around you, especially when you talk about it, whether it's in person or in front of a group or in the laboratory. It was just lovely to see. And it's infectious because people love to see passionate people. So it's so nice. And Peter and I often talk about how we need people like you to communicate how important microorganisms are to the world. So
interesting.
Because we haven't covered that.
Yes.
Do you want to talk a little bit about microorganisms a little bit?
I would love to. So for the Art for the Unseen project, which you made a video for, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
we took artists from Anglesey to the marine science labs in the Ocean Science Centre in Anglesey, actually, associated with Bangor University, and we showed them plankton, all the different various forms of plankton underneath that are just at our surface of our waters, and they were tasked to create art based on it, which is absolutely gorgeous. The showcase was so amazing. I just wish I had money to afford some of the art. Student loans aren't covering that.
No, they don't.
So these microorganisms that you see at the surface of the water, there's 2 different kinds. They're called, there's phytoplankton and there's zooplankton. Phytoplankton is referring to the algae and all the photosynthetic organisms like algae plants, and then fascinating things, dinoflagellates, just crazy stuff that I can't pronounce. And then the zooplankton refers to anything that is an animal, so most of it is larvae, so crab larvae, lobster larvae, barnacle larvae, that kind of thing, starfishes, all larvae of the baby forms of those organisms. Eggs will also float around as plankton. And interestingly, plankton just refers to something that is that cannot move in the water column on its own, that is just drifting through the currents. And as such, the giant ocean sunfish, the mola mola, is classed as a megaplankton.
Wow.
Because it can't really move on its own.
Oh, wow.
Which is crazy. These things can get to, I think it's 1,000 kilograms or more.
Yeah.
And yet they are still classed as plankton. Crazy. Jellyfish are often classed as plankton. But yeah, we don't see the microscopic forms that often because they're microscopic. You don't really go into the, when you go to the beach, you don't go looking for them. You're more fascinated by the fish or the crabs, that kind of thing. But these plankton are so incredible with what they do. They form the basis of the food webs all over the world. So the phytoplankton can produce up to around 95% of the oxygen that we breathe, depending on the seasons and how much there is. So they bloom with the sunlight, causing them to grow more. And 95% of the oxygen that we breathe, that's more than the rainforests of the world combined, which is incredible. Then the zooplankton form, they eat some of those phytoplankton and then form the basis of those food webs that we see all over, right up to whales and stuff, which is incredible. There's such a diversity down there. We don't know what most of it is, which is crazy because it's right there and you can see it really easily, but the forms of life that are microscopic are just so incredible. The diatoms are made of glass, so somehow they manage to take silica out of the water and biologically turn it into glass.
That's crazy, isn't it?
We haven't figured out how to do that. To make glass, we have to heat sand to God knows what temperature. But they could just take it out of the water and biologically turn it into glass. It's incredible.
You see, I had no idea about this, and I felt like I was getting a fairly well-rounded education. There's so much that we didn't...
There's so much. Yes, they are absolutely incredible organisms. They come in such diverse forms. Some are completely cylindrical and round. Some are square. Some have these beautiful, like, needle shapes. They are so gorgeous. So
I got some basic questions. I also submitted a drawing for the exhibition, and it was of radiolarium, and I was wondering, are they phytoplankton or are they zooplankton?
I don't know what those are.
Don't you? Okay, it's fine.
I'm gonna have to Google.
They're very spherical. They look
very
like
spherical.
They look like, what are they called? Not dandelions. The what are they called? The flowers where you kind of blow on it and all the seeds.
Dandelion clocks.
Is it a dandelion? Yeah. I was thinking, so that's what it was.
Dandelion clocks.
That's what they look like. Anyway,
they will probably be classed as phytoplankton from the sounds of it, but
you have to double check.
I'll have to double check. If I were to Google it now, I could do that.
It may just be because I looked at the definition. Apparently, radiolarian are called that because they are in groups. They're not individual. They have to cluster.
So some organisms have to form colonies to survive. So things like corals are a very classic example of that. They have to live in those colonies that make up those beautiful reefs. Other organisms like siphonophores do the same thing. So they are an individual zooid, I think is what it's called, but they group together to create these beautiful forms. Good example of that is a Portuguese man-o'-war. It's not a jellyfish, it's a siphonophore. And there's parts of them that are the air bladder siphonophore, the digestive parts, the tentacles and the stinging parts, all individual zooids that group together to make this one organism. So they can't really survive on their own, but they're not technically one organism. It's all really weird. So radiolarians, would be just like that. They could survive in a small group, but they need to work together to let the rest of the colony and let the rest of everything survive, which is a pretty good metaphor for humans. We kind of need to do the same as well. But colonial organisms are crazy and fascinating and absolutely amazing.
So how low do you need to reach with it to sample plankton? Are they at all levels of the water?
They tend to stay within the epipelagic zone. So the plankton that we're talking about, the zooids and the phytoplankton and the zooplankton, tend to stay at the surface of the water because that's where the sunlight is, that's where the nutrients are. The first 200 meters of the water, it's called the epipelagic zone. Epipelagic is where light penetrates, where you can actively soak up the sunlight. So phytoplankton need to be there because they need to photosynthesize, they need to produce food. Zooplankton will be there because that's where the phytoplankton are, so they can eat it, and that's where most of the kind of life congregates within the first 200 meters. So to sample the things that we were seeing in the art exhibition, you don't need to, you can just skim the surface of the water. You just need a plankton net, just a net that's fine enough to capture the plankton. That's all you need, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go far at all. You can do it straight on the surface of the water. But plankton itself can go down hundreds of thousands, well, not hundreds of thousands because it's not that deep, thousands of meters. As long as it's drifting with the currents, then it's classed as plankton. So all the jellyfish in the deep sea, those will be classed as plankton.
Yeah, I see.
That sunfish that I was talking about earlier does dive down, often to depths to feed on jellyfish and stuff down there. So while at that stage it wouldn't technically be classed as plankton anymore, it's still at 1,000 meters kind of sort of plankton.
So funny how it's not plankton when it goes to feed, otherwise if it's adrift.
If it's just drifting about. If you were sat out on a lilo out in the middle of the sea, you'd be classed as plankton.
Okay, this is a Patreon video about automatic drawing. So if you join my Patreon, you will see this video and many others like it. That's what I'm showing you on the screen now. Is a video that I made about a drawing process called automatic drawing. It explains how and why this is a useful way to make art. There are lots of different ways of making art and using different tools, different thought processes, and expressing your ideas, and this is one of them. You can join now for $2 a month and start using these techniques. It's not much to ask. I know that it's too much for some people, so I appreciate that it's not for everyone, but if you can afford it, it will really help this channel. You'll also be a patron of the arts, which sounds posh, and there's nothing quite as prestigious as a posh patron of the arts. So if you are able to do that, then I really would appreciate it. There's also animation, exhibition and behind the scenes videos. Loads to check out on the channel. I've been making it for quite a while, so I upload a video every month, and I'm going to start creating a tier system with different exclusive access videos. I hope to see you there soon. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching. I was going to ask about the mixed media, to go back to the art.
Yes.
What do you use for your mixed media art?
Ooh, a lot of things. So I'm very inspired by people who do bullet journaling and scrapbook journaling. So creating layered scenes with various bits of paper that's been kind of, I don't know, ripped up from either newspapers or just fancy paper that I found somewhere, washi tapes, stickers, that kind of thing. Just using and layering those to create some really, I don't know, interesting or cute things. I've made a couple bookmarks from that,
Nice.
but I've got Pritt stick, glue. You don't need a lot of fancy equipment to do it. It's just one of those things that you can do.
Now, if
which
that
is
were
really
me,
nice.
I would be hoarding that material.
Oh, I am.
Is that how you do it? Because I was thinking, if you want to make art, you can't go, no, I need to find stuff. Let's go and cut things up. You'd have to have it in like a little folder or something to hand.
Yeah, so I have a couple of different folders of things, but it's all wrapping paper, fancy wrapping paper that I've been gifted by people, cards that I've also been, if they have interesting scenes on them or interesting patterns, I'll cut those out and use those instead. A lot is you've got to do a bit of hoarding, but I'm sure all artists know that.
Yeah, that is.
But yeah, mixed media is really easy to do. You can use pretty much anything. If you have blank sheets of paper and maybe just paints, you could paint different colors until you get different mixes. Then you can cut that up and stick that all on in a different way. and then you have something. It's good as well because you can draw over it. There's no limit to what you can do. Yeah, mixed media is really nice.
See, I find it really interesting because I struggle to do anything that's not one. If I start with a pen, that's the start and the finish. I won't be able to introduce even a pencil afterwards because I just think, I don't know why I put these constraints on myself. So when I see people who are that free to express themselves that way, I'm jealous and I'm curious and I want to kind of do it myself, but I don't know why I can't seem to allow myself that freedom. But is your mum the same? Does she do mixed media? You said she does.
She's starting to dabble in it now. So she was very much the same, a strict watercolor artist or a strict graphic design artist, but now she's branching out because she will see something online or go, I could do that, and does it, and it's brilliant.
I love it.
Which is very much the same for me. I will find something that I like online, and maybe I'll try and replicate it, or I'll be inspired by it to create something similar, or to push myself. Can I create something like it? Maybe not copy it exactly, but those techniques of layering different things. You've got to kind of just go with the flow. My process is very much put some music on, get into the right headspace, vibes, that kind of thing, and just go for it.
So it's never kind of planned out and spending too long. Is it more the impulse to start?
I will plan certain things. So I will usually plan a colour scheme. So some of the ones that I've got, for example, I've got a green and a blue one, and then a pink and yellow and a pink and red. So I'll usually plan a colour scheme or a theme I want to do. A lot of them are very ocean inspired, obviously. But other than that, I will just stick things down and think, what looks good here? Could I improve it somehow? It's missing something. What is it missing? Oh, it needs dots in this place here. Or, oh, it needs something in the background. What could I use? That kind of thing.
Your lab coat was exhibited for the launch, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
But it wasn't there for the rest of the exhibition?
No, it was not.
No, did you use it? Is that why you
I needed it, yes. I had labs. I can't remember what the lab was, but it's been a while. But yeah, no, I did need it for my university.
So it wasn't fear of leaving it unattended? No.
It was, I genuinely needed it.
I'd have that. I'd have the fear of leaving it unattended because it's so lovely. But also, surely someone's going to gift you a second lab coat at some point.
I already have a second lab coat.
You do, but you need your...
I need my second lab coat is my backup one that I keep at home. And to be honest, I'm using it for a cosplay.
Really? Yes. Oh wow.
So I don't really... I prefer using my lab coat because it's very, very personal and it's just me.
Yeah.
It's so me, and if I don't use it in labs, then come on.
It's a missed opportunity.
Yeah,
to
absolutely a missed opportunity.
So what's your cosplay?
Oh gosh, I've done quite a few. I've done from the video game Alice Madness Returns. I've done Alice. I've done She-Ra. The one with my lab coat is very niche internet. Forums called the SCP Foundation. It's horror stories that are based on kind of like scientific articles where you contain whatever horror there is. It's really cool. I know it's just a lab technician from the foundation. Thinking of doing some kind of photo shoot with it in the future, but that's a very slow process. I've got a lot of other things I want to do first. It's one of those things. Artists are famous for starting projects and never finishing them.
This is true as well, Well, perfect to be on an art podcast. Everyone can relate to these things.
So started that, haven't finished it yet. I I stitched on the logo, and that's it.
Well, is there a kind of conventions where you can show off this?
Oh yeah, there's loads. So I haven't been to one in a few years, to be honest, but I went to Manchester Comic Con.
You go to Comic Con? I didn't know if there was kind of a science con where you...
I wouldn't do that.
I thought all young scientists be lab cosplaying as this. No?
No. I'd take my lab coat to a science conference, but I wouldn't take... I would not go in cosplay.
That'd be so funny, just old, academic. So, what are you supposed to be then?
Could turn up in Star Trek science officer stuff. I'm sure that would go down well.
That would go down well.
That would go down really well. But other than that, the fear of social isolation is too big.
Yeah, you don't want to make a name for yourself that way.
No, absolutely. But for conferences, I do dress up. For my dissertation presentation, I was doing it. My dissertation's based on deep sea organisms. It was monsters or masters, can we stop calling deep sea fish ugly and give them the credit that they deserve, because they are absolutely wonderful organisms and they need to be protected. And I bought a shirt that's got loads of deep sea creatures on it. It's covered in it, so I was that one scientist that's so obsessed. It's usually the classic of wearing a tie of the subject dressed in it as a shirt.
That's great. Yeah, it's just pushing the boundaries slightly.
Just going a bit out there, but
just about acceptable.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
Yeah. Always have marine themed stuff when doing a conference, I think.
Yeah.
If you dress up as your subject, it's more fun that way. Why not?
Well, I want you to sort of tell everyone what's coming up for you next as well, because you've got an exciting
I do.
What's happening?
I'm going on placement year next year to the University of Hawaii at Manoa in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Yeah.
I will be working with Dr. Jeff Drazen, who is the leading researcher for deep sea fish, biology, ecology, everything. He is incredible. I've referenced him so much in my dissertation. It's kind of like meeting a celebrity now, because he's on almost every paper I've been looking at, which is really interesting. But I will be helping out in his lab, doing all sorts of fun science. It's such an incredible opportunity, and Peter Williams very much helped me get it. He very much started that ball rolling, and I'm so grateful, because I'm going to Hawaii for an entire year.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to ask a very ignorant question, but you have to forgive me. Does Hawaii yield different species than Anglesey?
Yes.
Yes. So tell us about that.
Anglesey, obviously where we're in the North Atlantic, so a completely different ocean to the Pacific Ocean, which is where Hawaii is. Also, Hawaii is very tropical. Contrary to the sunny day today, Bangor and Anglesey, not very sunny.
Not so tropical.
Not so tropical. Freezing. It's way too cold here all the time. So today's a huge exception. So tropical organisms tend to breed higher biodiversity, so there are a lot more diverse forms. There's a huge ton of biodiversity here in Anglesey. I do not want to knock that. It is absolutely incredible, the organisms that you can see just going rock pooling. With Endeavour Society, a lot of the students just go out and go rock pooling in their free time and send hundreds of photos into the group chat, and they are all such different organisms. Every time you see them, it's incredible. So yes, here in Anglesey we don't have tropical reefs, and I think tropical reefs and glaciers are kind of the two things we don't have, but we have everything else. We've got kelp, we've got every other we've got kind of semi-deep sea, everything. But Hawaii is very, very tropical, so it's got a lot of tropical reefs. It's just surrounded by the ocean, so obviously it's quite far to go from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, so fish have found their niche and they tend to stay there where they are, because they like the conditions, and obviously the water here is quite cold, so the fish here will be tolerant to that, whereas the fish in Hawaii would be tolerant to more warmer waters. I do need to do a lot more research about that before I go, because I want to actually kind of know what I'm on about. But yeah, so I will hopefully be seeing so many different organisms that I've never seen before, and especially working with deep sea fish. So deep sea is technically from 200 meters down. So the epipelagic zone is 0 to 200 meters. The mesopelagic, or the midwater, is 200 to 1,000, and then the bathypelagic is 1,000 to 2,000, and then everything below that is the abysso, and then the hadopelagic. So But fish kind of don't abide by those rules because there's no borders between anything in the ocean. So if you can survive at the surface and the deep sea, you're going to go everywhere. So working with deep sea organisms, stuff that I've never seen before, stuff that you can only find in these really specialized labs, is going to be really, really cool. Because just the diversity, even in the deep sea, is incredible.
Well, I can imagine that the environmental impact of less light the deeper you go, and then the pressure of the environment has an impact on how they develop and evolve.
This is what my dissertation's all about. So light is the main factor when it comes to determining things. So in the deep sea where there is no light, so light is completely gone from 1,000 meters. That's 1,000 meters below is the midnight zone. Nothing, no light penetrates at all. So organisms have had to make their own light. Bioluminescence is key to life down there. So it's quite energetically costly because, you know, you're making a massive chemical reaction that's so expensive that it produces light, which is incredible that they can just do that. Wow. So they have to make their own light, and they use it to either attract prey or warn predators. Sometimes you make those flashes so you can attract a bigger predator to attack whatever is eating you. So many different strategies. You can use it to communicate with your own species, with other species. It's absolutely brilliant. So light plays a huge impact, but in the midwater zone, you've got downwelling light, so the light from the surface, as well as the nothingness below you. So you've got to see everything around you. They tend to have bigger eyes. So some of the eye forms in the mesopelagic zone are absolutely incredible. I'll send you some images.
Yeah, please.
It's, oh my God. There's something like the barrel eye fish. That is fantastic. Such a weird guy, but he's great.
I don't know that. I knew the tripod fish and certain ones that you named I know, but I don't know the barrel eye fish.
Yeah, the barrel eye fish is incredible. So it just has a completely see-through head, and its eyes only kind of point upwards.
Really?
Yeah, it's really, really cool. There are these two like dots that you can see on the front that those aren't their eyes. Their eyes are the weird kind of orbs that are in their head looking upwards. So it is constantly looking up to see what's around it. And
is it a bottom feeder? Is it?
No, it's completely pelagic, so just in the water column, so it doesn't really go to the bottom, just stays in that mid-watery bit.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool.
How has that evolved? That's so curious.
And that I'm absolutely fascinated with. How does something evolve like that?
Yeah.
What are the selection pressures that have caused it to evolve like that? How does that genetically work? How does your genes mutate in a way that, oh yeah, my eyes are now going to be permanently up?
Yeah, and
That's
yet the
incredible.
appearance of eyes at the front, which surely has a evolutionary advantage.
I don't know, they might be nostrils, I've forgotten.
Maybe.
I'll have I could do a bit of research on that.
I always assume it's just some way that it's evolved in order to represent. I mean, I'm kind of making up the story, which is probably not the best way to understand evolution. But
I have no idea. That's incredible. Pressure also huge impact. So obviously, the way your tissues work and everything, the fluids inside your membranes are going to be affected by that pressure. So you need to evolve pressure tolerant membranes. So what they found is, if you have an organism at the deep sea and at the surface that are supposed to live there, their membranes kind of look similar, they have the same shape, but if you bring the deep sea organism up, its membranes are in a complete disarray because of that loss of pressure. Blobfish is a classic example of that. The blobfish does not look like that. What you've seen, that deflated, saggy thing, it's honestly, I think it's the biggest form of animal cruelty and misinformation, because blobfish in the wild, they just look like regular fish.
Really?
But if you bring them up to the surface, that image that went viral, its eyes have popped because of the pressure.
Oh no.
So eyes are missing.
Yeah.
The netting or the whatever it was caught in has stripped it of all of its scales. So it's now just kind of naked and fleshy and gross. And then obviously, because the pressure is so much less, it's all of its tissues are sagging, and it's such a sad image, and it's straight up animal cruelty.
Yeah. And as you said, misinformation.
Misinformation. It does not look like that. It looks like a regular fish. It's
yeah,
just
that's a disservice to the ocean and to people's understanding of.
Yeah, exactly.
The fish itself. That's. I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, well, I'll have to Google the accurate image of a blobfish.
Yeah, put that up.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, talking about the aesthetics side of things, I'm going to end with a question that I used to ask every artist.
Ooh.
And I don't think I've asked anyone in this season.
Okay.
I did have 4 episodes that have been online, but the rest I'm going to try to make an effort to be in person. And I'm going to ask you because I think your answer will be interesting. Not to put pressure on you.
Okay.
What's the most beautiful thing you've seen today?
Today?
Yeah.
Wow. Specifically today?
Yeah. See, people usually struggle with the superlative, not with the day. Yeah. Say the most beautiful. Like, okay, what do you remember?
Honestly, this view. It's gorgeous.
That's my cue to spin the camera around in a moment, just to show you.
It is. Where we're sat, looking out on the city. It's. Where else are you going to get views like this? Bangor is in such a unique place in terms of geographically. We have the mountains of Snowdonia there, and we have the ocean and the strait just over there. So you have this gorgeous mix of incredible views from mountains and the university being right at the top, that you can look at the whole city. This specific bit where you can't really see much of the actual industrial side of the city, just the naturey bit, is gorgeous. I do love just looking at all of this. Nature is such a huge inspiration for me in terms of my career as a scientist and obviously marine biology. And then artists as well, where if I could paint this, I would. I'm not a good painter. If I could embroider it, which I probably could, I would, but this is it. This is beauty. Yeah. Nature is it. Perfect. Everything. You can find anything and everything, such beautiful forms in nature. Yeah. Forms in nature, that's the Huxley? No.
Is it?
No, I've forgotten his name. Anyway, famous artist, forms in nature. Haeckel, that's the one. Okay. Yes.
That's very good. We got there.
We got there in the end.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, okay, then very last, I would say, where would you like people to go to either see what you're doing or to see things that you think are important? Where would you advise the audience? Where should they go and
where should they go? To see what I'm doing, I don't really post anything online in terms of my art or that. I do my art for me, I don't do it to...
you should go here to see your art.
Yeah, just come to the video to see the art. Yeah. I do it for myself, and I do it. If you ever encounter me in a lab somewhere, then you'll see it on my lab coat. Yeah. In terms of where you can get inspired for nature and stuff, I recommend... I'm such a huge advocate for the deep sea. I think more people need to see the diversity of organisms down there. Places like the Monterey Bay Aquarium, their research institute, MBRI, so MBRI, on various social media platforms, they post daily the incredible diversity you see down in the deep sea, and it is beautiful. All of it is so beautiful. If I could embroider everything that's down there, I would, but I do not have the time. So MBRI, Nautilus Live, the EV Nautilus are leading in terms of deep sea research, going out and exploring. The Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution as well. Where else are good places to see nature, just in general? Nat Geo, National Geographic are pretty cool. Yeah. Yes, I recommend just finding maybe local photographers. They often do a lot of really cool things. So finding a local photographer that specialises in kind of nature is always a good choice.
Oh, excellent. So all good things. I'll have videos and links and things to show on the video. Yeah. To illustrate what what I'm talking about. Yeah, what you mean. But yeah, no, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
It's been absolutely great. Really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Georgia.
Thank you so much.